Alright, here we are for another match of this league with Burn. It's funny. When people tell me, oh, Burn's so easy to play, Burn's this, Burn's that, Burn's so brain dead, it's really not. It's actually quite hard to play Burn because you have to sequence all of your spells in the correct way. You have to plan on drawing certain spells. You know, you have to know when to kill a creature, when to not, things like that. I think Burn can be a very, very challenging deck. Ah, my cheek hurts. I might have to get my wisdom teeth taken out soon. That's gonna suck. But at least I won't be in pain anymore. Well, days after the surgery, I guess. Alright, we're up against Affinity. So, gonna suspend this and say go. So here's where Thermal Alchemist is actually better to go on turn 2 than Keldon Marauders. I'd say more than half the time. You just want that little guy, as active as quickly as possible. Didn't I move that over there before? Another Thermal Alchemist. Okay, that's not bad. So we're gonna take 4 here, and then next turn we can go Needle Drop into another Thermal Alchemist if I choose. So we'll see. We will see. All right. So opponent played a Thoughtcast of the Chromatic Star. Didn't play much else after it. So now we will poke and drop. Drew a Fire Blast. Alright. I think playing the second Alchemist is just better here. Put my opponent to 13. 13 to 14. We'll see what happens. Of course, could always just die to Tog Fling. That is something that could happen. Opponent playing Darksteel Citadels, which will be interesting after sideboard with Gorilla Shaman. Could be something that I should look into, because I'm sure my opponent is much better than I am. As you guys have watched in my videos, I'm not a very good player. I should probably not have 6, because if they go to kill my Thermal Alchemist, that would be very bad if I just have 6. Missing a point of damage is not a good thing. I know Thermal Alchemist is not good in Modern Burn. You get Eidolon. That's better. Alright, Carapace Forger, number Dose. And a Mirror Enforcer. Alright. 4/4 number Triss. And a pass. Alright. Deal 1 to you. Draw. Lava Spike. Alright, so let's go ahead and poke my opponent twice with Thermal Alchemists. Spike you. Yep. I guess they are dead. But the problem is if my opponent has a Galvanic Blast in response, I don't win the game. So I think it's better to actually just say go. And yes, I know that I'm giving my opponent the chance to draw a Galvanic Blast. But I think doing it there also loses me the game, because then I don't have a blocker and they could just have, like, a couple more things. Sure. Perilous Research, alright. Playing a Tog. Alright, I think I'll try to kill my opponent now. Hopefully they don't have a red spell in their hand. Hopefully they didn't have... Hopefully, if they do, they already had one, and don't make me look like a complete fool, since I do so well at doing that myself. All right, cool. So also, if they Galvanic blasted this and then didn't have like a fling in hand and didn't kill me in response to the Keldon Marauders, because I can bring them to 1. So, what a journal land, great. All right, so bringing in the big guns, bringing in the Gorilla Shaman. Martyr of Ashes is also decent. Keldon Marauder's not at its best. It's never really going to get in, and you really want to play control. Thermal Alchemist, I think, is still good. Probably want to take out a couple of Flame Rifts. They're not great. This is Ultra matchup with Searing Blaze is not good. I think Incinerate is just better. And I'm going to take out Needle Drop. Why do I think Incinerate's better? Well, I think Incinerate's better because all of their creatures are going to be 4/4s. So Searing Blaze is literally always just pretty much going to be, you know, Incinerate as a sorcery that just happens to also deal 3 damage. And this doesn't target creatures, so. Basically, I just want to go turn to, basically, I just want to go Gorilla Shaman and win the game. That's all I want to do. I just want to go Gorilla Shaman and win the game. That's all anybody with Gorilla Shaman against Affinity wants to do. Or my opponent mulligans to 1. I guess that's also decent. Alright, well, opponent mulligan to 6. My hand is very good. Have a decent amount of burn, have a Rift Bolt, have a Gorilla Shaman in it. Gorilla Shamans were quite pricey, let me tell you. Ooh, another Gorilla Shaman. Alright. I'm just going to suspend this and then pass the turn. Because if my opponent goes turn to Carapace Forger and nothing else, I can burn the Carapace Forger. It will have 3 damage on it, and then I can destroy one of the 2 lands that they have in play, I assume. And then, due to state-based effects, the Carapace Forger will die. And as you will see here. So we're going to deal 3 to it. And then we're going to play a land. We're going to play Gorilla Shaman. We're going to destroy the Great Furnace. Always destroy the red, because that is pretty much how they get you. And then that also kills the Carapace Forger because it still had 3 damage on it. So let that be a lesson to you. And now if I untap with Gorilla Shaman, I'm going to be in very, very good shape. So we'll see. Alright, well, my opponent sacked the Chromatic Star for the Galvanic Blast, did not draw a second land, and unfortunately, to my opponent's dismay, I have another Gorilla Shaman ready in the wings. And we're just going to pass the turn. So my opponent currently has no lands in hand. So any land that they have, they will draw off the top. And I have a Martyr of Ashes now, which is a good safety point, I suppose. But yeah, this is why you play Gorilla Shaman. This is just something that happens against Affinity. Not gonna lie. Excuse me. Literally against Affinity in Pauper, Gorilla Shaman, it just does it all. Literally does it all. Man, that is a mean quote. Each generation teaches the next that artifice is the enemy of natural order. Man, that's mean. Alrighty. Alright, so, at first I thought that my opponent rage quit, because they lost connection to the game, but then they came back and, passed the turn, was going to pass the turn, but then they decided to concede. That's just how brutal Gorilla Shaman is against Affinity. Sometimes you just win. A third land here would have been perfect, because then I could go Curse and leave up, mana, and we would have drawn perfect. Which doesn't happen often, but... Alright, if you'll excuse me just for a second. So what is my verdict on this deck? I think this deck is still great. I think these 3 videos that I brought to you have shown you not only the power of Gorilla Shaman, it showed you how close it can be, how hard the deck can be, how easy it can be to lose if you're a bad player like myself. It showed you that it's actually not that bad against Peregrine Drake. I had to get pretty unlucky to lose. But, it's how the cookie crumbles. Not much you can do. But, do I think this deck is great? Absolutely. If you want to pick this deck up, I would recommend it, especially if you're new to Pauper. I have no troubles with anybody picking up this deck. As far as the list goes, I think the list is fine. I actually think I might go to 2 Searing Blaze, maybe go to 2 Needle Drop and go to 2 something else. I'm not sure. And the sideboard. So with the sideboard, you could I think really the only flexible spot is Pyroblast. You could play Molten Rain, which is this card to kill Electron lands or to attack, the mana bases of like Drake decks and whatnot. You could play Pyroblast. You could play Smash the Smithereens over Gorilla Shaman. But I think for now, this is the list that I'm going to stick to. I might. Well, I'll probably take out a Martyr of Ashes and put in something else, but I'm not really sure of what yet. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Arctic Pulper Show, and I hope to see you guys next time. Thanks, and good luck in your endeavors. Peace.